Anna is just like every other typical teen. She loves her friends, movies, and animals, especially her animals, and has collected quite the menagerie of fish, guinea pigs, and her beloved dog. Among her favorite things are theater and editing videos. But unlike many teens, Anna has struggled since a very young age with crippling anxiety. Anxiety that prevents her from being able to easily enjoy many of the typical activities that teens love. Anxiety disorders are the most common mental illness in the U.S., affecting 40 million adults and 6 million children, at least 18% of the population. And while anxiety disorders are highly treatable, only 37% of those suffering ever seek treatment. Annie was diagnosed with social and general anxiety disorder. Social anxiety disorder is an intense fear of being judged, negatively evaluated, or rejected in social or performance situations. And while general anxiety is the intense fear that something bad will happen. Anna's struggle with anxiety began before she was even 5 years old and starting kindergarten, and manifested itself in strong angry outbursts and a fear of attending school. Rather than disappearing as she grew older, her fears and outbursts intensified to the point that her parents knew this behavior was going beyond childlike defiance, especially when it began to prevent her from participating in many of the activities that most kids love. While it's been a long road with many ups and downs, Anna has learned to manage her anxiety and hopes to give the same hope to other kids who suffer from this debilitating disorder. Stay tuned for an interview with this brave girl as she opens up and talks about what it's like to battle anxiety and what she wants everyone to know about overcoming this disease.
Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Today I am here with my daughter Anna, who we like to call Annie, much to her chagrin. She also likes that word. uh, Today we're here to talk about anxiety. Anxiety is something that plagues many Americans, so we want to give you an honest look at what it's like for a child and a teenager to live with anxiety. So Anna is very brave and has agreed to talk with me about how she has dealt with anxiety when she realized that this was a problem for her. So I'm really excited to have her talk to us today. So I'm going to ask her a few questions. And the first question I want to ask you, Anna, is what is anxiety like for you? How would you describe anxiety to someone who's never experienced it?
Well, what affects me is it's hard for me to go up to people and to start a conversation, and going into rooms with large groups of people, like even family reunions, gets me kind of nervous.
Okay. So what goes through your head when you are walking into a room? What goes through your mind? Kind of tell me like a little bit of your self-talk in your head. What's it like in your mind when you enter a situation where you feel anxiety?
Well, I just start to get really nervous, and I think, like, what if they don't like me? What if I say something wrong? Stuff like that.
Okay, thank you. That's a good answer. So Anna, when do you think you realized that you had something going on in your mind that was a little bit beyond what most of us would might consider normal?
Well, I had, like, a lot of rage issues when I was little. Like, I would hurt kids even when I was, like, 3, when I grabbed a little girl's hair and yanked it out. But, so that's when I started, I guess, to notice that maybe I wasn't normal.
Well, you are normal, but that's when you had something like anxiety. You're
Yeah.
definitely normal. A lot of kids struggle with anxiety, so it's actually a pretty common thing now. So you said that you would have trouble controlling your emotions. I think would be a good way of saying that. You had like what you called rage issues. What would trigger that happening to you?
Like when I didn't get my way and schoolwork.
Schoolwork. Do you realize it was that you didn't get your way, or is it that you felt like you didn't know how to do it and that was your way out?
How to do it, because I remember one time I had to do an essay or something like that, and I got really angry and I tipped over tea and I ruined your computer.
Well, that's when I knew something was going on too. And so not knowing how to do something, I remember when Anna was little and we were getting ready for a dance recital, and she refused to go on stage, and she like basically was clawing the stage to keep from going out there, and I just thought it was just not being just a little nervous. I didn't realize that it was a full-fledged anxiety attack. So how would you say you would respond if you were asked to go into a crowd, or you're in drama now? So tell me, what is it like for you internally when you know you're about to go on stage?
I get really, really nervous. And it's hard for me to like walk up those stairs to go up the stage. But it's crazy now that I can actually do that.
Okay, so she says she can do that now. So Anna we started counseling about 4 years ago. We realized that some of her responses were a little bit beyond what they should be in the weight of the situation. Like she said, pouring water in a computer because she was scared about how to do an essay. And when you say you don't want to do something, is it that you don't want to do it to be spiteful, or
I don't know how.
You don't want to do it because the fear of doing it overcomes you?
That one,
the fear of doing it overcomes you. Yeah. And Anna's being so brave sharing her story with us. I think it's difficult to put words sometimes to how a child is feeling. So as your mom, I'm going to ask a question that you will not hurt my feelings. What would you like to say to parents who may have a child who is struggling with anxiety? What do you want parents to know? What do you want moms and dads to know?
Well, if you see that your child has like some of the symptoms, like being really nervous and maybe even having rage issues, you might want to take them to counseling because it really, really helps. I used to be so scared to go on stage, and now I'm actually about to do my 3rd play on stage, which is kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. But it really, really helps.
It really helps. What is it about counseling that you feel helps you so much?
Well, I can just talk it out and get some like ways to help cope with it, like counting down in your head, breathing, and stuff like that helps it.
What are some strategies that you would say help you the most with anxiety?
Well, when I'm in a big room of people, I just try to find someone that I know and go and talk to them and kind of just grab onto them, and they help me out with it. And when you start to feel angry, just exit the room. Go to your room and read or something, and even punch your pillow if you want to.
But rather than your little brother. That's advice from Anna. You said something that I thought was important. You said that there are strategies, right, that help you when you're in a room and that you go find someone to help you. Are there other strategies that you were taught in counseling specifically that you feel really help you?
Well, counting down from 10 has helped me sometimes, just because it gets your mind moving and not thinking about, like, what if they don't like me and stuff like that.
Okay, good. Thank you. And so I wanted to ask as well, what would you like to tell a child who's struggling with anxiety? How would you like to encourage maybe someone that was watching who is like, I think I may have anxiety? What would you like to say to that child?
Having anxiety it's not like horrible. I mean, it's bad, but you can get help for it, and it won't always be horrible.
And it's not something you should be ashamed of, right? Can you help your anxiety?
Yes, you can absolutely help it. And maybe having anxiety can also help you in bad situations, because, I mean, if you get nervous to do something bad, then it keeps you out of the situation.
So you can be good sometimes. Good, yes. Let me ask you this. Okay. I think a lot of parents, when their children have anxiety, are afraid to push their child to do things that might make them feel scared. And when I say good things, like getting on stage, writing an essay, auditioning for a play, going out for a sport, anxiety is something that prevented Anna from participating in life. It got to the point where she wouldn't try new things. She wouldn't put herself in unusual situations. Would you say you are glad that we pushed you and kept you moving in those ways?
Yes, I'm glad that you did push me. But if you have a kid who's really nervous, like to do drama or something, start with steps, like maybe just going backstage and helping with that. And if they really love that, then maybe they can go for a part that's just like an extra or something, not actually having lines. And then maybe the next year you can go for a part with lines.
Anxiety has made her so wise. And would you say that God uses things that seem terrible to make us better people, to make us stronger?
Yeah, definitely.
How have you seen God work in your life through that?
I don't really know.
You just feel like he's helped you
Yeah.
get the help you need and guide your parents. But do you feel like going through anxiety has helped you mature as a person?
Yeah. Oh, like you said, I'm so wise because of it.
You're more wise because of it. She's full of wisdom. And Anna, what do you wish I had done differently? Because can I tell you just a little bit? I keep touching my mic and you're going to hear that I'm sorry. But can I tell you something that really, when we were trying to figure out why Anna was so angry and why she had so much emotion in her tiny little body at the time. We're talking 2 and 3 years old. There was so much emotion and they were so much bigger than she could handle. And I just thought, oh, she's being a brat. We need to discipline her more. And when we did that, the more fiery she got. And so we handled it terribly. I'm going to be the first to admit we did not know what we were dealing with. And I was embarrassed because I thought maybe it was just my bad parenting. And I didn't want to admit that I wasn't a good mom. And so I'm going to talk about it from my perspective another day. But, and I'm showing you the mic, I'm sorry. We're new at this. But we think this is really important. So we're going to muddle through and make mistakes until we get this right. But I would say, what do you wish I had done differently as a parent? For parents, this is advice for all of you parents who are struggling to find the best way to help your child. So I think it's important for us to learn from our mistakes. So Annie, what mistakes did your mom make?
You didn't notice it sooner.
You wish I'd noticed it sooner? Be honest. You have full permission to be honest here.
I don't really know.
Do you feel like sometimes we judge too quickly, we jumped in with discipline too quickly, and didn't get a chance to figure out what was causing the root cause? Were we terrible at finding the root cause?
Yeah, you were.
So we were more, we're trying to figure out how to make it stop, not try to figure out what might be going on underneath to cause the behavior. And that was something that we made a mistake in. So as a mom, what have I done right? Because surely there's been like 1 or 2 things right. So what have I done right?
I would say being counseling has helped a lot, and pushing me to do stuff that I didn't want to, because I've made so many friends at drama and it's really cool.
Good.
And fun.
And when we say pushing her, there were times I literally like pushed her out of the car and told her she was going to be fine. But we did it with baby steps, right? We didn't push her before she was ready.
First, I helped with backstage, and then I had a part where I didn't have any lines, and then I moved to a step where I had like 7 lines, I think.
And auditioning in front of other people.
Yes, auditioning was the scariest part.
So, Anna, what is the thing that you really want people to know more than anything else about anxiety? It's okay. I think you can think about it for a second. Is it going to kill you, most likely?
No.
Is it your fault?
No, it's absolutely not your fault.
And we'll talk about chemical and other kinds of reasons, brain reasons that cause anxiety at another time. But can it be managed?
It can be managed.
Good.
In different ways.
Okay.
Like some people take medicine for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I actually do take medicine for my anxiety, and I don't take it all the time. I just take it when I really feel like I'm out of control, like when I go to drama sometimes, and sometimes when I do like little youth events and stuff, because I get nervous being around a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But that definitely really helps.
Yeah. So counseling, when it's needed, medication. We're going to look at some diet interventions that might help with anxiety. There are foods that worsen anxiety. Anna also has gluten intolerance. So for her, sometimes what she eats.
But it tastes good.
But it doesn't taste so good. She says she's right. It tastes good. But there are ways that we can help our anxiety through diet as well. So we hope that this helps. Just listening to someone talk about what it's like to have anxiety, but what it's like to overcome anxiety. Because Anna has matured so much, and this has been a story of triumph for her. And we hope, and she hopes, that she can take her experience and that God will bless it and use it to help other people. That's our goal, right? So this is why we're doing this video. So I would like to thank Anna for her bravery and for her, it's made her more compassionate. I think sometimes we've had to protect our children from anything bad that can happen to them. But sometimes walking through it with them will make them resilient. It will make them wise, as Anna likes to say. And it will help them so much more in life than having never experienced anything negative. So we can take negatives and we can turn them into positives. God gives us the opportunity to make lemonade out of lemons, but we sweeten it, right? We sweeten it with sugar. So walking through this with her has also made me a much better mom and a much better human being. So thank you for taking the time to watch. We hope this has helped, and we will continue to do some more in this series on anxiety.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.